Alright everybody, welcome to KGR's E3 2014 Microsoft coverage. Microsoft finally said one thing that we all wanted to hear finally, and that was Crackdown 3. Let's start off by going over what we loved so much about Crackdown. That's me, Warren G Online. And what did I love about Crackdown 1? One, it was an open world and you can do anything you want to do. You can drive any car in the game. You can grab and throw anybody away, or if you want to, just take and to punish them if you want to. Throw them on the ground, carry the body and throw it in the water. You can actually go swimming. You can go swim diving. You can go chasing if you have a two-player co-op. Rocket Tag was actually in the game itself, not in a separate section. In the menu. It was actually in the same game. You had, when you power yourself up, you get stronger, which means you can pick up more items. And if you also shot your gun a lot, you got gun levels up and so forth. And it just kept getting better and better and better as you played it. It was just awesome. Every car in different sections like Los Muertos and Shai-Jin and Volk, every car had its own music each section had its own music. So when you got in the car and you turn the radio on, you get to hear all this crazy good music. It's awesome. And that's what made Crackdown 1 so awesome. You get to do whatever you want to when you want to. So it was a game inside of a game inside of a game. You know, if you had a good friend you want to hang out with while you're playing with them, you can actually go car surf or bus surf. You can get a bus and go surfing on it around the town. Or if you wanted to, you can actually, you and your friend, or if you're playing the game by yourself, you can race around all three cities on the interstate. It's awesome. Granted, there's no achievement for it, but who cares? You're having fun. That's what video games were made for. But other things that make the game even better was when you did power yourself up, you would get powers, and in the driving section, once you powered up, your cars would transform that were from the agency. They would like boof, 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 and just transform. Not like a transformer, but just grow bigger and better. You know, one vehicle actually lets you climb up buildings with it. Another vehicle actually flips over a lot. Another vehicle, your sports car, well, not sports car, but the agency vehicle, the one car, it actually gets machine guns like Batman's car. So it's like, I'm Batman, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. But that's what made the game so awesome. What also made it awesome was the cloaking device, the Firefly, and the long shot. Those were awesome weapons. With the long shot, you can actually zoom in and look across the map to find orbs to help your skills increase better and faster. It's like, oh, it's just so awesome. It's just like, Crackdown is the epitome of what Xbox 360 is. I mean, the graphics were awesome. I mean, yeah, load time was a little bad, but once the game was loaded, no more loading. That's the one thing you have to appreciate. You get to travel 3 different cities with no load time. I don't know what technology they were using at real-time worlds back then, but I miss it. I miss it. I love Crackdown. I've beaten Crackdown, I'm not sure how many times. I've reset in the game at least 4 or 5 times, probably more than that. Helping people out and playing it by myself, I don't mind because I love the game. You know, I might just walk around the city and listen to the little ambient sounds because it sounds like I'm really in a city. I am one that will say I don't care for cursing. The cursing in the game really isn't in your face like GTA, because I've tried to play part 4 of that. Have not touched 5 just yet. But getting back to Crackdown, Crackdown is awesome. Now, moving forward, this video is gonna skip the sequel, and I'll leave it at that because it's just dog crap. I don't want to even say anything what was wrong with it, but I will say what I expect to see in Crackdown 3. So Microsoft, first of all, thank you very much for even letting Crackdown come to the Xbox One. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really can't say it enough because that's the one game I was hoping we'd see more of anyway. The sequel was a really big letdown. I don't want to say anything about it too much because that's how mad that game makes me. I don't like speaking of hate, because I was going to pop that disc in half, actually. But a friend wants me to send it to his nephew, which I haven't sent it off yet. But getting to Crackdown 3. I'm just going to go straight off the list of what I want to see in Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3, I have to see these weapons, just like in part 1, the ones I just mentioned. Those 3 I want for sure. I didn't mention the power grenade. That's one thing I will say I did not mention, because you would think that that will be automatically in the game. The power grenade, I'm just trying to think of what it was, because there's also the lobber gun, which was pretty cool, but the cluster grenade, I call it the power grenade, but that cluster grenade, that really needs to be in the game also too. I didn't put it in my list, but I will put it in there right now. But the things that need to be in Crackdown 3, okay? I want Crackdown 1. You don't need to improve on the graphics. These are my opinions. They don't need to be improved on the graphics. Just keep it the same. But what I want to see in Crackdown 3 is going to be the VS1 cloaking device that lets you turn invisible like the Predator. The Watson HE99 Firefly. That is my chosen personal weapon for fighting big gangs and putting the game on a level that's really challenging for me. Setting it on the easiest level, anybody can play part 1 and beat it in almost 4 hours if you try hard enough. Seriously, yeah, without having to kill all the gangs, just kill all the bosses. But that's not what the game is about. The game is about having fun. Okay. After the Firefly, I would love to have my Bastion SX900 long shot, which is what I mentioned earlier, the long shot. I love that gun because it allows me, like I said, to look across the map. I can shoot people from across the way if I'm playing a single player or 2-player. It's awesome. It's awesome. The cloaking device, it allows me to run around if I'm playing another person. And notice I say if I'm playing another person. I just turn invisible and you can still hear me, but I can run around invisible when we play rocket tag and just stomp you in the ground or run and do whatever. And the cluster grenade, well, that allows me to basically throw 3 or 4 of them out. I think I throw about 3 of them out at one time and they just blow the whole area up. Boom, 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 boom. That would be awesome. Okay, I would love to see more trees. I know this sounds crazy, but if you're watching the video, you should see trees. Because actually this video right here, what you're watching, actually was shot back in 2013, actually December 2013 is when that was shot. And I was riding with a friend, and I was like, that looks like Crackdown. I removed all of the audio because it was really bad. I had the window down, so that's why I decided to talk over it. But I want to see more trees, and I know some people are like, what do you want to see more trees for? I want the trees now to be destructible, where if I shoot at them, they catch on fire and burn down. Not all trees, but some trees should be able to be destructible, and maybe I can make a pathway or something like that. I don't know. I would love to see more gas stations. We had that one gas station downtown, which was awesome, but I want to blow it up. Okay, I know that sounds bad. After I beat the game, a lot of this stuff should become unlocked, catching trees on fire. After you've beaten the game and everything, you can go back through and just blow everything up. I want more bombs. I saw the trailer and I saw that semi truck with all the TNT attached to it. Awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to blow something up with one of those. Okay, now things that we never had. I would love to have prisons that we can eventually destroy them, and if we destroy them, they get burst open and the convicts escape. Not saying that's a good thing, not saying it's a bad thing, but that's something to think about to add, longevity to the game. I would love to have 4 miles of ocean. That would be great. 4 miles of ocean to swim in. I know that some people who don't play Crackdown much are like, what do you want that for? That sounds stupid. But it was fun to play when you're chasing people, when they're chasing the war and they don't know what they're doing. It's really funny. Or if they do know what they're doing, it's fun to see them actually win the game and then you try and come back and get them. And, it's just fun. 4 miles of ocean just to swim around and maybe put some sharks in there. Don't have to, but this is Xbox One. So show it off. The more stuff you have, don't put too much. Whatever you do not put any toilets that are super big in a pipe. Please don't do that. Don't do that. That's insulting. I would love another city to be opened up where it has lakes, and inside the lakes there are alligators and fish that you can actually go under and see them, and you can actually attack them, I guess, but it doesn't really matter if it could or can't. But it's Xbox One. Remember, more is better. Swamplands. This is something that should be turned on and off in the game, kind of, but Natural disasters like heavy winds and tornadoes, or what's that thing called? I mean, you could put an earthquake in there too if you want, but that's up to you. I would love areas that are construction areas that are half completed with construction equipment like bulldozers and cranes. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Just decoration really, and maybe I can drive one of those construction vehicles. That would be good. That'd be cool. And again, different songs by independent artists. That's what I want to see and hear. I want to hear it. See an independent artist I've never seen before or heard before. That'd be great. That'd be great. Also, another unlock, not a DLC, but it could be a DLC, where you have some class costumes where once I've beaten the game, I can unlock a ninja, or I can unlock a construction worker, and I can knock buildings down. With the ninja, I can climb up walls like Spider-Man. I'm saying ninja, so you don't have to go through the rights of having Spider-Man. But the ninja will climb walls, flip through, use Chinese stars to throw at the enemies and stuff to beat the bosses, and get a special ending. So we should have like a special ending, probably about, I want to say if we got 15 different costumes, then 15 different endings. Well, actually, probably should have like a good ending and a bad ending too. So, skateboarding should be allowed, because in part 1 we could grab a ducky and run around with it, and a basketball and run around with it. We really couldn't use it for anything, but it was still cool. And also secret entrances to areas. That would be awesome to have that, where you can find, like we did in part 1, kind of. But in this one, if we're driving a car, it'll say secret access area found, access granted, something like that. Also, I think we should have also limitations on some of the not races, but chases, where the vehicles need gas. I'm not sure how that'll work, but that'll make the game a little bit more challenging when the car runs out of gas. That'll be awesome to make you have to go fill up with gas. And last but not least, new weapon, a flamethrower. That would be so awesome. Flame on! And you get to burn the trees and burn cars and burn people. Eventually it runs out. I'm not trying to turn this into Dead Rising or anything like that, but I would love it if we also can choose the camera angle like we did. Well, we didn't get the chance to choose the camera angle, but I will say I love the camera angle in Crackdown 1, where it was kind of like on my back, right above my butt, kind of. I love that. I didn't care for the sequel too much. That was another turn off. I would love it if we got the same armor we had in part 1, not that whatever kind of armor the sequel had. I did not like that at all. It was a turn off. But those are what I think what Crackdown 3 should have in it. I hope and know Microsoft's going to do a great job. I know it's going to be a great thing. I look forward to playing this game. Hopefully it'll be about 4 players big, like the sequel kind of. But really, it doesn't really, to me, I don't really care. 2 players is good enough for me. 3 players is even better. 4 players, that's awesome. Everybody's waiting for me to get to go ahead and jump on that wagon. But Crackdown is the only game I really want at this point. Because the library, the Xbox 360 library is already giant and great. So, but if you're listening and you've never played Crackdown, please go play that game. It was a free game at one time on Xbox for gold members. So go and check and see if it's still free. This is warrengonline with KillerGameRants, and thank you for listening.